Okay, so Gabby, Jadon Sancho has been unfairly treated. Do you agree with that, Ray?
Well,
is
a little
that
bit of both,
modern
really.
Football talking? Would you have got away with that when you were playing?
A little bit of both, because I don't believe you should come out in the press and say what's going on. But also, what's his attitude like, Sancho's? You know, in training it might be terrible, and Ten Hag's not having that.
I think he's got a great chance of getting in the side now. I do.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be changes, especially wide positions. I think he can play.
Well, certainly he's got an opportunity to get in, but you got to show the desire. That's one thing I've seen with Arsenal, is that Mikel Arteta demands so much out of the players every training session. You've got to be up there with the levels that he's asking for, or you won't play. So I think Ten Hag's exactly the same. He wants to see that the levels, you know, the application from players in that Man United team. Maybe Jadon Sancho just has dropped off a little bit, and he's not showing that desire to play for Manchester United, and that's why he's left him out. But I do agree with, I don't think you should come out to the press and say that.
Yeah.
You've got to pull him to the side in training and say to him, look, you've got to liven up. You know, what you got to work a little bit harder. You've got to work on this in your game, that in the game. And he's such a young man that he's got so much in front of him, isn't he? And you regret it at times. You get to a certain stage in your career, you might regret that. What he hasn't put it in at a young age, because people like Ronaldo's the ones you've got to look at. Look at how he application, what his training methods are every day. And he plays till 36, but he's still playing now. He still looks so good, his shape and, you know, how he plays. Yeah. But that is application, that is training every single day, Al. And knowing that you are going into training and try and make yourself a better player. And I think that's what Jadon Sancho's got to think quickly and say, look, I've got to go down this road instead of that road.
So what about Ten Hag then? Is this now beginning to be hassle? Is his job, is it under threat now? Is there a lot of scrutiny on Ten Hag? Because it's been a funny old start to the season for United.
Well, every single manager's under the spotlight, aren't they? In the Premier League, that's the business these days. If you don't get results, you don't end up in the club. But I just think that Ten Hag has come down and said, look, you can't do this. Imagine Sir Alex Ferguson. You know how he dealt with players. You know, they'd be scared to do anything, but they done exactly. They showed the application in training, or they wouldn't play probably under Sir Alex. So it's very similar, and he wants to see 100% every day in training. And maybe Jadon Sancho's just going through the motions, which isn't good enough if you're a football player.
Yeah, I'm not judging out here, but I think Sancho, it could be a blessing that he stays at United, because he will get a chance.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.